To make up for my long absence, I've decided to go and do a retro review this time around. My review formula is going to get changed around a bit too, so tell me what you think afterwards. If you guys like it, I might do it a little more often. The year was 1993. Nintendo and Sega were locked in a heated battle for the North American market, and the 16-bit era was pretty much already half over. While video game consoles were still using cartridge-based medium, computers were going all for the CD-ROM, a new innovation in storage technology. The traditional 3.5-inch floppy disk was only able to hold 1.4 megs of memory. The CD-ROM, 700 megabytes. This opened up a whole new realm of possibilities for software, including more graphically intense GUIs and full-motion video. Naturally, game developers were one of the first to pounce on this new technology, particularly many small names hoping to catch a ride on the gravy train. One of these companies was Cyan Inc., now known as Cyan Worlds, a rather small developer founded by brothers Robin and Rand Miller in 1987. Cyan's work up until that point had consisted of games largely marketed towards children, such as The Manhole and Cosmic Osmo. What came out of their doors in 1993 took the PC gaming community by storm. That game was Myst, initially released for the Mac. Even though it was firmly cemented in the somewhat traditional point-and-click genre, it delivered an experience that gamers had never seen before, due to the game's fresh innovation. Not only did Myst receive immediate critical and financial success, that success was long-term. Myst was once the best-selling PC game of all time, until it got beat out by that juggernaut known as The Sims. However, there's one puzzling conundrum behind Myst. If it contributed a lot of things to gaming in general, and did so well financially, why is it seldom talked about today? Let's find out. Even from first glance, anybody can tell that Myst's biggest allure is its atmosphere. And if I had to combine all the aesthetic elements of the game into one big mega section, you know this game has to have one hell of a presentation. The first thing you'll notice are the graphics. For the period this came out in, these look absolutely mind-blowing. Everything is lushly rendered in 3D, and most objects that the player interacts with are meticulously animated, giving the whole game an eerie sense of realism. But wait, whoa. 3D? Full 3D in 1993? What is this, Bizarro World? This shouldn't be technically possible. The N64 hadn't even come out yet, and this looks like eons beyond what it could produce. So, how did Myst pull off full 3D in 1993? The truth is, it didn't. All Myst did was use pre-rendered 3D still images, and then seamlessly overlaid video files for animations. This technique of pseudo-3D was an incredibly brilliant move by Cyan, allowing them to create a convincing and immersive 3D world within the constraints of the day's technology. Also, Myst's video overlay technology allowed them to work in full-motion video acting. While it may seem a bit silly and rudimentary by today's standards, it was quite a hullabaloo at the time. And even today, compared to the FMV crap on the 3DO and Sega CD, the acting holds up well, if not without its flaws. What I was particularly impressed with was the acting in the intro. This was in 1993, 3 years before the voice acting monstrosity known as Resident Evil, and this game is still able to hold its own. But it's not only the VA that's great, all of Myst's audio completely fits the game and adds to its atmosphere. Due to the storage capacity of the CD, Myst was able to use tons of full digital audio, which it used for ambient effects as well as music. Myst's ambient sounds do just as much for the game's atmosphere as the graphics do. Everywhere you go, the noises of nature surround you. The wind whistles, water drips, the sea gently washes back and forth. All of these sounds combine to make a realistic, if eerie, experience. The music, in contrast, doesn't play very often, but when it does, you know the area is one of significance, and the music, with its mysterious and mystical feel, fits completely. This balance of frequent ambience versus sparse yet powerful music can be found in some of the best games from the past 5 years, such as Shadow of the Colossus and Half-Life 2, another thing proving just how far ahead of its game Myst was. Finally, the third most important aspect to Myst's presentation is its storyline. Myst's tragic tale of mystery and betrayal is both beautiful and believable, blowing all of its contemporaries out of the water. I'm not going to spoil the plot for people who want to play the game after they hear this review, but I'll tell you this. Things aren't always what they seem on Myst Island. Be careful. Let's drop the presentation for a bit and look at the core gameplay for what it really is. Myst was part of the adventure game phenomena throughout the entirety of the 90s. They seem to be pouring out of the walls. Myst certainly separated itself from these other games through its presentation, but did it really do it through its gameplay? In short, not really. Myst's pseudo 3D format may have been a blessing for presentation, but it was a curse for gameplay. The way that the game worked pretty much confined the player to point-and-click actions. Even if Cyan wanted to include any action or fighting scenes in the game, they simply wouldn't be able to do it due to the way the game was structured. Now, while point-and-clicks were all flashy and new during the early 90s, this probably wasn't too big of a deal. But now, and pretty much every nook and cranny of point-and-click innovation has been explored, the gameplay does seem a bit archaic. There literally is no challenge to the game other than its puzzles. Thus, while a player's average first playthrough of the game might take 3 or 4 hours, a rather short time I might add, they could probably beat the game in even a quarter of that time on their second time through. This makes Myst's replay value virtually nil. Another complaint that I have is that, while they certainly are beautiful, the environment animations can't be skipped. Although this was fixed in Myst's sequel, Riven, it's certainly a problem here, particularly in a minecart puzzle about halfway through the game. Anybody who's played Myst should immediately know what I'm talking about and roll their eyes in disgust. Whenever you move in a direction in this minecart, you see an animation detailing your travels through a tunnel. While these animations are particularly nice, probably the most beautiful in the game, the whole puzzle probably takes 20 minutes on its own, just due to the longevity of the animations. And guess what? If you want to go back to the area, for reasons I won't disclose due to plot spoilers, you'll have to go through this whole puzzle again, without being able to skip any of the cutscenes. To be fair, this was the only real instance in the game where it was a true pain in the ass not to be able to skip environment animations, but nevertheless, an issue's an issue. The last real gameplay gripe that I have with Myst is that the game really lacks an ending. The game's ending pretty much consists of a character like, "Great, you made it here, now buzz off, I'm doing something. You can explore the island, but you've already seen everything, so..." Yeah, not really all that satisfying. In short, Myst's gameplay is flawed, but doesn't really get in the way of the overall experience. You just have to put yourself in the mindset that this was 1993, and forget about the point-and-click conventions that may hinder your experience otherwise. If you haven't played Myst already, I really hope you want to after this review. So you just hop onto Google and search up "Buy Myst," and about 1 million ports pop up in your face. After you stop your head from spinning, the question is this: which version of Myst is definitive? You could always get the 1993 CD-ROM release of Myst, but good luck trying to get it to run on any machine that came out within the past 10 years. Fortunately, Cyan realized that this issue came up, and decided to re-release Myst alongside its sequels Riven and Myst 3 Exile on DVD format in 2003. There may be a little bit of hassle getting these games to run, but it should be minimum. I got all 3 of them running on my first try. If the gameplay of Myst is a bit too dated for you, there's also RealMyst, a 2001 real-time 3D version of Myst. Even though it does have FPS control, day and night, and real weather physics, it's still not quite as pretty as Myst's original pre-renders, and good luck getting it to run on anything other than an NVIDIA card. There are also like 1 million console ports of Myst. It pretty much got ported to anything you could put a CD in. PS1, Saturn, CDI, 3DO, Atari Jaguar CD. Ugh. All of the console ports suffer from 3 things: glitches, having to use an analog stick, and frequent load times from the disc. Personally, I would avoid all of these. Then there are the more recent ports, notably iPhone, PSP, and DS. I heard the iPhone port was pretty passable, so if you have one, you could try it. The PSP port I heard was kind of disappointing due to the sheer amount of glitches it has, and I heard the DS version is a steaming pile that should be thrown into the pits of hell. It's also important to note that a few of the Myst ports have extra content. For example, RealMyst, the PSP Myst, and the DS Myst all contain a 5th age named Rhyme. Rhyme gives the game a better ending, and helps to tie Myst and its sequel, Riven, together. Unfortunately, I heard Rhyme is only worth going to in RealMyst, since the DS and PSP versions both have glitches that make it impossible to view the new ending movie. Keeping all of these things in mind, I think that the 2 best versions of Myst to get would either be RealMyst or the Myst that comes in the 3-pack 10th Anniversary DVD edition. The DVD version is probably the easiest to run, but if you can run RealMyst, it would be another completely feasible alternative. As I push dangerously close to YouTube's 10-minute upload limit, I'll keep my point short and sweet. Myst is an absolute masterpiece that pretty much founded the concept of cinematic gaming. The gameplay may be a little bit restrictive, but it was a compromise made in order to bring us what's widely considered the first true world of gaming. Hopefully, you'll be able to enjoy diving into this world as much as I did. I'm the Moogle King. This has been Sound Off for Insider 2. Thanks for listening.